Jamal Niaz here with Robbie Davies Jr. We've just had the Bad Blood press conference and it was about as heated as we expected it to be, really, weren't it?
Do you know what? I was just saying, I expected it to be worse. I built this thing up in my head that this is going to be, he's going to be throwing cups of water at me and everything, so it worked out better in my mind anyway.
Yeah, the stare down, that was quite tame, weren't it, to be honest? I thought you was going to get a bit physical, but...
Well, last time, because I said, like, last time I was going to stare down up here, it was with Glenfoot, and he was getting in my face, and I was like, ooh, can't back down, I'm going to carry on, like, that's not really my game, but, like, that weren't too bad, do you know what I mean?
And what did you make of the bickering about how long it's took to get this fight made and all the politics behind it?
Yeah, see, like, obviously somewhere along the line, because I don't think Lewis is lying, but there's miscommunication somewhere, because some of the stuff he was saying then I was like, well, I never got told that. Like, he was saying I turned the fight down in Liverpool for the 2nd of August. We were asked to fight on the 2nd of August, but not against him. And regardless of it was him or anyone, we said, we've told you, the end of August for the Lomachenko or September, October. That's the only way we can make the waiting time. So just because you moved the goalpost to the 2nd of August, that all of a sudden doesn't mean, oh yeah, we can take that now 3-4 weeks early to what we said we can. So we just had to bear with it, and then they said, well, do you want to... Oh no, my manager went back to them and said, like, Robbie's come back to me and said, he'll fight at welterweight if you want him to fight on it. So they said, well, there's no point in fighting for the title at welterweight, so we'll just put him on an 8-rounder, just keep him busy, local lad, Liverpool. So we were happy to go with that. Like, as a fighter, I'm never out the gym, so I was happy to stay busy and get a little run out in Liverpool. I know I ain't fighting no world champ and nothing like that, but if you'd ever look at fighters like Chavez, he'd be fighting for a world title, and then he'd fight 3 nobodies in between his next world title fight just to keep busy. And I was thinking, I'd love to be the same if I can just fight every other month, regardless of money, just keep him busy and keep winning fights. Like, that's what I'd always do.
Can you pinpoint a moment where this rivalry started?
Yeah, definitely. It was probably because of me. I've just said this on. I feel like I'm repeating myself. When I was so I'm on the phone with my manager, he rings me up and he goes, right, Rob, Lewis Ritson fight. At this time, I'm British and European champion still. I'm like, right, let's go. When, where, all that. And he goes, it's in Newcastle though. And I go, my Newcastle? I'm the champion. Like, shouldn't he be coming to Liverpool? And Neil messages and goes, no, he says to me, nah, they're not having him in Liverpool. So off that bit of miscommunication, I'm thinking, like, the rest of this conversation now, he's on about Lewis and Lewis's team. But he's on about Matchroom, don't want it in Liverpool. They want it in Newcastle, obviously, because of how well it'll sell up here. But I've already done a tweet now saying Lewis doesn't want it in Liverpool, but don't worry, I'll be the one to make the fight happen for the fans. I'll go to Newcastle. And he was saying, so then it was like I threw a fire in the works. Lewis kicked off, started printing text messages, or his manager Jaffer had said. But Jaffer and my manager Neil are mates. So Jaffer's rang Neil and goes, what's all this about? And Neil rings me back and goes, what do you mean about Lewis doesn't want to fight and all stuff like that? I was saying, he just said to me, he doesn't want to fight in Liverpool. He said, no, Matchroom don't want to fight in Liverpool. I was like, put my foot in it, but I thought, I've already said it now, and it's built a bit of like needle between us. But I was just saying on another one then, if I hadn't have done that, this wouldn't have happened the way it is. Me and Lewis would have been on that stage, yes sir, no sir, best mates. Right, we're two likeable lads, so it wouldn't have played out that bit. But because of me doing that, Lewis wanted to get his needle back then, and when we sees me at the show, he starts calling me coach to F off and calling me coach and mug and things like that. And then I kick off then, so that starts it up again. Do you know what I mean? So
you've experienced animosity before a fight?
Yeah, I've had it a few times. Do you know what I mean?
From what Eddie was saying, Lewis hasn't been in that position before. Do you feel like that gives you a bit of an edge as well, having been able to control your emotions like that before?
No, because I feel as a boxer you're always mentally strong anyway, and you can deal with these type of occasions, and you just take everything with a pinch of salt. If you start taking it personally, that's when you fall behind. And I just think the only thing that matters is on the night. Nothing to do with press conferences, who's cheering for who's in who's back garden. None of that matters. It happens with, all that matters is who gets it right on the night and who comes out with the win.
How does he fare up against your previous opponents?
wouldn't say he's like no one. The kid that beat me, I know people slag him, the Polish kid. No one will ever be as strong as him, ever. Like he was like a middleweight in the ring, the biggest thing you've ever seen. Unbelievable strength. And then in terms of skill, like can't knock Joe Hughes. Like I was expecting him to be short and stocky, come forward and flying at you. He can counter punch you. So how wrong I got that? Do you know what I mean? So I don't think Lewis is going to be the strongest, and I don't think he's going to be the most skillful. But I think he's got an all-round good game. Like he does everything well. Do you know what I mean? He's not boss at that. He's not boss at that, but he does everything well. And I think like when people look at me, they constantly just think like he's an out-and-out boxer. That's the only thing he can do. So I'm hopefully in this fight can show people a bit more of my variety, what else I can do.
Do you think you guys can bury it after the fight's happened? Do you think it's an easy one to get past?
I think it's more down to him if he wants to apologise to my coach, because if it was the other way around, I'd have never spoke to his coach or his dad or anyone in his team the way he spoke to mine. So that's the way it'll play out in my eyes.
And where does the winner go from here?
Initially, the winner for me, if I win, I want a world title shot, or I want to be in that world level opponent. So I want something that makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, where I think, oh my god, I cannot wait for this fight. Like that's what I've been lacking in some fights, but even this one, because of the build up to it, it's definitely put me in a good frame of mind and got me on edge a bit more than I normally would, like I have in my previous fights, especially coming up into his back garden and all his fan base and things like that. The shit I've been getting on social media from Geordies is tenfold to anything I've ever had before, but it's just one of them. I'm just like, okay, block. Normally I used to sit there and argue with them for hours, but nowadays I've just had to learn to click the block button, so it doesn't really bother me anymore.
Do you expect moments where there's going to be sort of wild exchanges in this fight where it could descend into a bit of a dogfight?
Yeah.
You expect that?
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be times early, I think, especially because of the way it's built up. Like, but one are going to land early to let the other one know what they're in with. So
no feeling out process.
Obviously, you've got to. If he doesn't respect me power, then that'll be more fool him. Like I wouldn't go in there, couldn't go with my chin in the air from round one, but I can't imagine it to take one of them take 6-7 rounds to pick up.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you
very much for your time.